Sonic Coast, a Tuesday afternoon. We stream together. Thank you so much, as always, for being with us. As you know, we have a big night coming up on Friday night, December 22nd, Aretha's Jazz Cafe in downtown Detroit. It's home for the holidays with the Gasoline Gypsies and friends. It's a benefit for Habitat for Humanity Detroit. And the lineup is absolutely stacked. And when we say Gasoline Gypsies and friends, we have one of them on the phone, Frank Grimaldi. How are you, Frank?
Hey, nice to be on the show. I'm doing well. How are you?
Excellent. Well, if you're involved with the Gypsies, is there anybody that's not friends with these guys?
Well, they certainly get around, and when you hang out with them and you meet them, they're just like the nicest guys in the world, and Jack and everybody that all the vagabundos, you know.
Yeah.
So you're almost like family right away with them. So it's easy to see why they're so liked.
No doubt about it, and that's going to be a special night there on December 22nd. Now, Frank, are you going to be performing solo or with your band Slowfoot?
I will be up there solo, and I'll probably play a couple of our original songs, and I got maybe a couple of holiday surprises in my back pocket, so you never know.
Okay. Got to brush up on some Christmas music, huh?
That's right. You know, I grew up as a church choir my whole life, and then school choir and all that, so we did all the Alfred Burt Christmas carols, and I could just plain wore out on the traditional Christmas music, but find like some old soul Christmas and Clarence Carter Christmas music and stuff like that with a little bit of soul to it, and it's like, all right, I can dig that. I'm with that.
Very nice. Let me ask you, why get involved in this special night?
Anytime you can do something at a great venue like that with great friends and help a wonderful local cause, I mean, you can't miss. And it's the season to give, and it's, give back to your community. And that's exactly what we're doing. So I think, number one, it's going to be fun. I mean, you can't miss. So, I mean, so there's that. And then you're giving back a little bit. So you're marking off checking off all your boxes.
It's home for the holidays, Friday, December 22nd, Aretha's Jazz Cafe, downtown Detroit. It's a benefit for Habitat for Humanity. Gasoline Gypsies and friends, one of those performers talking with us now is Frank Grimaldi. Frank, I want to ask you about the new band, which I absolutely love. One of my favorite parts about being involved with the Sonic Coast is music discovery, which I did with Slowfoot and the new album. Tell me about that. It came out, December 22?
Yeah, it actually one day. So it'll be one day after the Aretha's Jazz Cafe concert. It came out on the 23rd of 2022, and we did our album release at Otis Supply, which isn't a venue anymore, unfortunately, because it was a great room. But that album was a total labor of love. We started it right as COVID started, so we did all our bed tracks at the Tempermill in Ferndale, and then couldn't work on it for about a year and a half. So it's kind of stressful, but we ended up getting it all done and getting it out, and I couldn't have been any happier with how it turned out and the reception from it. We just did our Spotify Wrapped for the year, and I think we got close to 25,000 streams on the record. So
I saw that.
It did well.
It did very well, and no doubt it's a great record. I love the sound of the band, Frank. It's just good old Detroit rock and roll. What were your influences? And I think I can hear some of them, but you tell me.
I grew up in I love the Beatles from the time I was 10 years old on. They were my favorite band, and past that I got into Zeppelin and Hendrix and Humble Pie, Pink Floyd, all them guys, Yes, and some of the newer stuff I like Billy Strings and Marcus King. I like I tend to get more eclectic as I get older, and what's great is the amount of talent in Michigan, and it's not just like being a homer either. You got a bunch of friends in bands all over the state, and you can say confident, they're really good, they're very, very good. And you're not just being a friend about it,
Yeah, no, it's one of the reasons we started the Sonic Coast was the amount of music coming out of the state of Michigan is just absolutely off the chain right now. And actually it always has been. And the amount of it's quality music, like you said, it's great.
But to tag back onto influences for the record, what's interesting with the group Slowfoot is that if you asked, there were 5 members on the record predominantly. We added a percussionist shortly after, Dan Wallach. So there's 6 of us now, but if you asked each and every one of us what our influences were, you'd get 6 very unique and different answers. Chris Gregg was the bass player on the record, and is super into reggae, super into Rush and Yes, things like that. Mike Conley's the other guitar player. He's into more jam band music, Humphreys McGee, Mo, Allman Brothers, stuff like that. And then I'm into the Grateful Dead and the Beatles, all that. Tony, our drummer, he's like an 80s metalhead. So, we run the gamut, and I'd like to think that it all kind of shines through and comes out, in the music.
It really does. It's a great sounding album. So just want to remind everybody, you can get tickets, get the complete lineup for this very special show, December 22nd, Aretha's Jazz Cafe. You can get all the information on the soniccoast.com. That's our website, ticket information, complete lineup. It's Frank Grimaldi with us. Frank, let's leave with one of your songs, one from the new Slowfoot album, and we've got Taken Its Toll queued up here. What can you tell us about that song?
That was one of the ones that was a newer song that had been written a couple months before we went into the studio. And it's kind of a straightforward rocker. And one of the cool things about that and the way it all came together was the guitar solo part. We didn't really know what to do with it. I was laying leads over it, and it was good. It sounded fine. But our producer, Peter J., was like, why don't you add like a dual lead, like a harmony lead here, for the first part, and then go into your solo. And I actually did it myself, so I overdubbed myself a few times playing. And then, I taught the other part to Mike, and, that's how we've been playing it since. So that's one of my favorite parts about the record is how things changed and kind of regrouped and came together, as just as only the studio can do to you.
Well, I love your singing. It's just, you've got some soul in there, young man. and the guitar playing's not too shabby either. You've definitely been up and down the neck of a guitar a few times. So let's check it out right now. Frank, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you on December 22nd. Let's take a listen to it. It's Taken Its Toll. This is Frank Grimaldi and Slowfoot on the Sonic Coast.